YouTube, what's up? I'm going to show you a few of the cars that I found this week. Well, I'm going to show you all the cars, which is just a few. Then I want to talk a little bit about the layout because I worked on it today for probably 4 hours. Got a lot done, and I'm actually really happy with the progress. So, this truck is awesome. This is part of the 5-pack. I don't know if it's going to be a multi-pack exclusive, but this right here is probably my favorite 620 that they've put out. I really like the deco with the copper wheels. I think it looks really good. Okay, let's see what we can see here. So here's the layout. So with the sidewalks, after getting them glued down and painted, I gave them a rust-colored wash, focusing on the expansion joints and the edges. And then today, I went over everything with probably 3 black washes. And then after doing that, I took that white pastel right there and then shaved off a bunch of powder, and then took steel wool and went over it. So it's a real smooth finish, and you know, the result is it's so hard to see on here. It's not great, but it's not bad. There's some imperfections with the tape on the curve for the stripes, but I also, I got the striping done, and my phone is pretty dirty. Let's see here. Crosswalk, all 3 crosswalks actually. So more of a top view here. I have to build a new building for back there, and also for back here. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with it, with the way it looks. Here's before I weathered the road. So this was just right after This was just right after this is right after I pulled the tape off. Tamiya masking tape is the best masking tape on the planet, hands down. I've never in my life had such a simple, easy time masking something and getting such a good result. So this is what the roads looked like before weathering them. And then this is, they're not totally finished in this, but mostly done. Here's a look down the street. This is before the road. This is actually before the sidewalks were weathered. I did have the rust wash on them, but that was it at this point. This is like while working on weathering the sidewalk. There's a close-up of the sidewalk. I believe it's finished at this point. So you can still see a little bit of the granular wood look, but I think that's going to show no matter how much you sand. With balsa wood, if you sand too much, you're going to sand it down to nothing. So I think it looks good. There's with the flash, there's with the filter. So that's kind of where we're at with the diorama. I am pretty pleased with that. And I started the static grass, but I had to, the batteries died, so it wasn't applicating it with a static charge. It wasn't applying it with a static charge, so I had to run to the store and grab some new batteries. And by the time I got home, I was just like, I've been working on it for hours. I'm at a good stopping point, so I called it a day. But I'll be back at it tomorrow because I think once I get the static grass on it, I can bring it back here and then start making the fence and doing all the little fine detail stuff like the power lines and, working on the new buildings, stuff like that. Anyways, here is a couple of things that I found. One thing that I found that I don't have here with me is the Corvette Stingray Super Chrome Treasure Hunt. It's a pretty cool car. So I bought it just because it's a unique license model treasure hunt, which we don't see very often. But I need to get some longer axles. These axles are too short. These wheels and tires don't look great, which is a bummer because I actually really do like this. I like this casting quite a lot. And I got one today, the new, actually it's one of the new, I think there's 2 new Fairlady auto lifts, and I got this one. I think there's a darker metallic blue, but I got this one. It has the lowered base, which I hate. I don't like it. The silhouette looks decent, but the quarter angle looks awful because of how far inside the wheels sit. It's just the stance is just jacked. These are green light wheels with M2 Advan tires, and there's your front quarter angle. So I actually might base swap these two because I think I like this color better, but I hate the lowered base. I just hate the lowered base. People complain at this one because the stance on this one's all jacked up. It's too high. But as bad as this one is, to me it looks so much better than this one. But the tooling, here's what sucks. The tooling itself is actually really nice. Nice little casting. They just totally screwed the pooch with the stance. So, the reason, because this had wheels on it, and the reason it no longer does is because I've been switching stuff around. I wheel swapped a couple of Konamis. So here's the first Konami that I wheel swapped. The problem with these Konamis is that if you look here, the tires are starting to rot off of the wheel. And it's a really nice casting, so I thought, well, I'll just have to put some new wheels and tires on it. I wasn't a fan of the wheels that were on it anyways. So these are green light wheels and tires, which I think look 100 times better than the wheels that were on it. Rolls great. It's perfectly functionable. It's got suspension still. Much better looking. And I had 2 cars that had rotted wheels. I had the Corolla, and I also had the Ken Mary Skyline. This one is questionable because the wheels are, I don't know. Some of you might recognize them, but I think it looks really good. I'd prefer a deeper dish wheel. You know, that's one thing about these green light wheels is they're a little bit deeper. These ones are not. But the thing about this wheel swap is that everything is fully, full suspension, great roller, everything is good to go. And I think this car looks 100 times better with these wheels as well. It's funny, the wheels, both of these cars had black wheels. And what that does is it creates little shadows, which I don't know why, but like with this car, having put these wheels on it, the lines of the car just jump out just from having brighter wheels. It makes it look like a totally different car. Like when you look at this, the last thing that you would guess is Konami. So I'm not 100% sold on these wheels for this car. If something better comes along, I'll definitely put something nicer on. But for now, I like it. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, I've already posted these. So you're not seeing anything new. But let's look at a couple other cars that I found, and then we'll wrap up the video. Oh, one other car that I'm working on wheel swapping is this Auto World Deluxe Chevy Camaro. I've already got it drilled, just waiting on the right wheels and tires to show up. This car is too nice. The detail's too nice. It's true scale. I want proper wheels on it. I can't stand the basic wheels on Auto World Deluxe cars. So 2 or 3 weeks ago at Hobby Lobby, I found this and I hid it. And I figured yesterday I'd go back and get it. Because, for $6, it's like, I know it's not worth anything. I might be able to sell it for 10. But it still looks cool. The gold, like that little gold ball is awesome. The bed is gold. The interior is gold. Not the bed, but the stake. And I need to check to see if the regular is that color. Because that looks really gold. All the trim is gold. The wipers are gold, which I thought looked really cool. If I can get it to show on camera. How do I get it to show? I don't know. It doesn't want to show up, but. I don't know. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I mean, if nothing else, I can throw it in as an extra for like a trade or something like that. So I found that, and then I found this last weekend. I don't remember if I showed this on video or not. I found 3 of these, sold 2, kept 1. But today I go to Walmart, and hanging right there on the front, this is the only one. I knew the Jetta was going to be hot, but I figured I already found 3 RX-7s, so I figured the RX-7 would be the car that nobody grabs. Maybe the R33, since we've already seen it from Hot Wheels. But hanging right on the front of the pegs, I found this Nissan 240. So, of course, there's no way I can leave that. I did make a trade for a set of these, but I don't think it's going to ship for a week or so. So I look forward to that because I really want that Jetta and that Eclipse, but especially the Jetta. But what I'll do is when I get the set, I'll keep the RX-7 and the 240 on the card. We're going to crack this one, though, because I want to look at this thing. In 10 years, these car culture Fast and Furious cars that are metal on metal with real riders are going to be very expensive. In fact, I'm going to just go out on a limb. Of all of the stuff that's coming out today, I think these Fast and Furious cars will be the most expensive, not counting RLC stuff. Just because of the popularity of the Fast and Furious franchise and the quality of these cars. You know, metal on metal, rubber tires, lots of detail, headlight, taillight detail. All the graphics are replicated. And they're doing every car. You know, there were tons of cars featured in those movies. They have another 5-car set coming out that's going to be all the American models. Like the Chevelle. They've already done 2 of the import releases. So the first one had, hang on, I'm only at 17. I got a few minutes. Let me grab the few that I have from the first release. I don't have the whole set because I didn't want the Lamborghini, but I did get, I feel like I'm missing, oh, there it is. Alright, so I have 4 of the 5. The one that I didn't get was the Lamborghini because I just don't care about the Lamborghini. But this is the first Fast and Furious release. These are cars I will keep because these cars are going to be worth a lot of money. That's my opinion. I don't really collect for monetary, but the Fast and Furious cars are just awesome. So it's like, I'm going to keep them anyways, but people that were able to find multiples that are hoarding these are sitting on little gold mines. Whoa, no way. I don't think I've seen that from Hot Wheels. Maybe that's just the color. But anyway, so from the first release, you had this R32 in black. Sexy car. Awesome car. You also had the R34. This is probably the most iconic car of the franchise. Certainly in 1:64 scale diecast form, this is probably the most replicated car from the franchise. Probably not even just in 1:64, but in all scales. This is just like... what I'm saying is, I think outside of that Dodge Charger, this might be the most recognizable car from the franchise. This Ford Escort, which is one of my favorites, I would love to see a premium brand like Kyosho or TLV do this Ford Escort. And then, of course, Nissan Silvia. And then there was a yellow Lamborghini, which I did not get. And then from the new 5-car set, you have the RX-7, the Nissan 240. There's a R33, so you'll have your R32, R33, and R34. There's the R33 in yellow. And then, of course, you have the 95 Eclipse. And the Volkswagen Jetta. When I was in high school, my mom had a 95 Eagle Talon, which is the same car as the Eclipse. Slightly different spoiler, but yeah, we had a 90, and that was, the car at the time was like 3 years old, 2 years old. It's a 95 Eagle Talon TSI turbo. It was fun. It was probably one of the funnest cars I've ever driven. It was fast too, but anyways, so the Fast and Furious cars are going to be cars that are going to be worth collecting. So I might actually grab that Lamborghini just because, so I can try to collect all of these. But this Nissan, of all of these, the Nissan is definitely my favorite. I almost want to get another one to de-tampo it. Maybe I'll do that with the duplicate and just get it stripped down to a nice stock look. My second favorite would be the black R32. I love that car. Third favorite, I don't know. I like the Silvia. I just hate that deco. I like the Escort a lot. I like the RX-7 a lot. I just hate the deco. But the castings are great. Regardless of whatever silly graphics they have, the castings are great. And the details on the castings are great. Like, look at these taillights on this RX-7. License plate, taillights, incredible detail, laced wheels, which I think is actually accurate to that car. I don't know about the car in the movie, but I know the RX-7 did have a laced wheel like that. So if this were black, like a black stock model, those would actually be prototypical wheels from Hot Wheels, which would probably be like the first time ever that they've done that. Here's the taillights on the 240. Just looks so killer. It looks so good. I love it. Like a plum color. These are new wheels from Hot Wheels. They just the last 6 months or so, and they look awesome. The 6-spoke, I think they look really, really good. I love the fact with these new toolings, like the Silvia and the R32 and the 240, none of them have staggered wheels. I'm glad the R34 doesn't. Some of the older stuff does, and so really happy to see Hot Wheels get away from that with the licensed model stuff. So you take these cars and combine them with the Japan Historics 2, not Japan Historics 1, because that set was average. Now I know it's worth a lot of money, but from a detail critique standpoint, they were not great. The decos were nice, but if you don't put headlights and taillights on it, it's just a kid's bathtub toy as far as I'm concerned. But when you do them like this and you actually replicate the car, then to me it becomes a display piece. So when you take these, you combine them with the Japan Historics 2, which was the first car culture series where they really started detailing. Actually, it might have been... No, it was Car Culture 2. That's where they really started doing headlights and taillights, regardless of what tempo you get. Regardless of what graphic you get headlights and taillights. And it's really made all the difference. It's really the one series right now that Hot Wheels does where they can actually compete with brands like Greenlight. All of these cars, very, very nice headlight and taillight detail. So I was shocked to find this, but I'm glad I did. I just got to get that Jetta And that Eclipse. I just need to get the whole set. Those are R32 and R34 tail light detail. So anyways, so that's it. Nothing else new. I do have stuff on the way, so as that stuff arrives, I will show you what I've got. And then other than that, my focus is just that layout. I'm really just working on that, trying to get that done. So as I get closer to completion on that, I really need to try to find a new home for this layout and the river. So if any of you live here in the Phoenix metro area, or if you live in Arizona, you know, whether it's Flagstaff or Prescott or Tucson, if you live in Arizona and you're interested, let me know. Holler at me on Instagram. These layouts are great for photographing your cars, making videos, or if you have a kid who likes to play with Hot Wheels and you want to get him the coolest little Hot Wheels playset. All of those would be reasons to purchase one of my 2 layouts I have for sale. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend. And I will holler at you all at the next video.